going to try to go through this as quickly as possible, but still making sure you understand what happens. Going through the home buying process, guys, it can go as quickly as 14 days, 30 to 45 days or more. So on average, 30 to 45 days, but you have some loans, if everything lines up and you're with the right lender that actually make sure things are going smoothly, and you as the buyer are doing your part as far as getting all the documents in quickly, anything the lender or the underwriter asks you for, you're giving it to them in a timely manner, you can get done as quick as 14 days. Going through the home buying process in a perfect world, the first thing that we like to do is make sure that you're pre-approved. What does that mean? That means that you've already connected with the lender or a loan officer. They're going to ask you for your ID, your job, where do you work, how long you've been there, are you full-time, part-time. They're going to also ask you for how much money you have inside the account right now, where's your credit score, all that good stuff that they need from you. And then they're going to determine if you can be approved now or not. Some lenders will not tell you what you need to do to get ready if you're not ready. We have Liz here with us tonight. You guys will hear from her later, but she definitely does have a system that she uses that will help you to know what you need to do. So when you know you're afraid, don't be afraid to hear the no, guys. It's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just simply means it may be a delay, and that's okay. If you're willing to put in the work, you have a team here that's willing to help you to get there. So we need to get you pre-approved, because as a realtor, guys, we do not get paid by the hour. So when we are out showing you homes and we're looking at things and doing stuff in the background, we're not getting paid. If you don't close, we don't get paid. So we need to make sure we know how you're paying for this house. And also, we have your best interest at heart. We don't want you out looking at a home that you can't afford or can't get. You don't fell in love with it. Now your whole process messed up. Because you like, I love that house. I don't want another house. Well, we shouldn't have been looking at it anyway, because you couldn't afford it in the first place. And we don't want that to happen to you. So if we just get to it, get to the pre-approval, tell us how much you can be approved for, and let's do it the right way to stop as much headache as possible. Moving on. So that process can take you anywhere from a day to 2 days, 3 years, 4 years. It depends on you. If you're ready to go, we're going shopping. If you're not, we're going to work with you to get you there. So then from there, say we're pre-approved. Now we're going to start shopping for a home. This is the happy part, right? It should be. Some people get nervous and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to happen. It's okay. Just get in there. Let's go look at the house. Myself and my girls, we're going to be honest with you if you don't think the house is good for you. But at the end of the day, guys, every step of the process, you are in control. We will educate, guide, provide you with resources, but you make all the decisions. Now, from there, once you find the house, we're going to do our due diligence to help you to come up with an amount that you think the house is worth. We're going to look at facts, all that good stuff. We're not going to leave you in the dark. Then we're going to go ahead and put in an offer to a seller to say, hey, this buyer's interested in buying your home for X amount of dollars. And then this is the very first time you're going to spend money. You're going to pay what we call the binder deposit. What that is basically, if you've ever rented, you had to give a deposit to rent. It is very similar. You give that money as a binder deposit so that the seller knows how serious you are about buying their home. The good thing is, guys, this money is not lost in the sauce. So when you give that money over to a third party, it's not typically going directly to the seller. The third party is responsible for making sure that money stays there. So within, as I continue, once you give that money, it goes towards the end of your buying process. For example, if your closing costs end up being, say, $20,000, don't run away, y'all. Stay here. I'm gonna break that down for you. If it ends up being about $20,000, and you say you put up $10,000 for your bond, you may not. It may be $5,000, depending on the amount of the house. You're going to basically deduct that. So if it was 20, you put down 10, you're only going to owe 10 at closing. Does that make sense, guys? Go ahead and put that in the chat if you have questions about that. Everybody's situation is going to look different. So from there, we're going to go into your home inspection. This is where we start to make our money too, because we need to make sure we make it through this. We do not want you to buy something that has a hole in the roof and they don't hit it somehow. So you're going to get your inspection done. Inspector come out, look at the water, how it runs out of the faucet. They look at the roof to see how old they think it is. Anything they can see without knocking down a wall, they're going to give you that information. So when they do that, as you can see, these are some estimates. Depending on where you are, the average here is about $350. So once you do that, guys, during those 10 days, your money that you put down for that binder is at risk. So during those 10 days, if you say on day 3, hey, Lydia, Aaliyah, Tiamerra, I don't want this house no more, we're going to go ahead and cancel that contract and get your money back. If you wait to day 13 and you and or your spouse says, hey, I had a bad dream, I don't want a house no more, we're past day 10, y'all. That means you now have just lost your money. In some cases, we can get it back, but it's going to be a fight. So we're going to make sure we're keeping you up to date. Don't be scared, y'all. Through every part of this process, nothing is happening at the same time. And we're there to guide you so you don't have to remember all this. We just want you to understand the process. So then from there, we're going to do the appraisal is going to be done, which the lender typically orders the appraisal. A lot of buyers frequently ask question, say, well, with the appraisal, isn't that for the seller? So how are they going to do? No, it's not for the seller, it's for you. It's for the lender to make sure they're giving you the amount the house is worth. They don't want to give you any more than what the house is worth according to that appraisal. So from there with the appraisal, if it comes back saying that, say we put in an offer for about $200,000 and the appraisal came and said that it's only worth $180. The lender is only going to give you $180 for that house. They're not giving you $200, even though you may be approved for $1 million. They're only going to give you what it's worth. So in this case, the realtor is going to go back and negotiate on your behalf to try to get you to get that house for $20,000 less. Who don't want the house for less? I'll take it. So then if the appraisal comes back and says that the house is worth more, remember guys, in this example, we put in an offer for $200,000. The appraisal will come back and say, hey, lender, this house is actually worth $300,000. That's probably not gonna happen, y'all, but it's worth $300,000. What's gonna happen is we're gonna still sell. You're gonna still buy that house for $200, and we don't have to share with the seller that it came back at $300. So by law, we just don't have to. Aaliyah, did somebody have a question? I see your lips going.
Yes, there is a question. There's a question.
What is the question? I can't hear you, Aaliyah.
She's on mute, yeah.
I was saying we're probably going to get to it a little bit more farther down the end because the question was, so is there assistance for first-time home buyers?
They're getting right to it. I'm going to get you. I got you. We coming. That's a good question. So back to the appraisal, y'all, we're going through the 30-day process in a perfect world. So we got our pre-approval, found the house, went under contract, got the inspection. If the inspection didn't come back good, we can walk away, get our money back. If it came back good, we're moving on. Say it came back good, going to the appraisal. The appraisal came back, we're good. Whether it was under or over, we're negotiating. If you decided to walk away at the appraisal process, you could walk away, still get your money back as long as you and the seller couldn't agree. Now, after this point and all this negotiation is done, your money is gone. If you decide to walk away, you lost that money. Now, once this appraisal comes back, everything is good. I said 30 to 45 days. I'm gonna say 30 in this example. We get to the lending process where they put your file into underwriting. Some lenders do upfront underwriting, but either way, the underwriting process is going to continue throughout the entire time until the file is done. What that does is, I like to describe underwriters as private investigators. They kind of go through your application and make sure everything you said is true. Everything has to be proven. It can't just be what you said. So as they go through that process, honestly, y'all talking about the money, but I promise you, this is the most frustrating part for everybody that I've worked with, whether they had $800,000 or $1, because the lenders and everybody's hands that's touching your file, sometimes, unfortunately, they'll ask you for a document, and then when you get underwriting, they're asking you for that same document. You like, wait, I just sent it to you. I'm at work. Take a deep breath, y'all. Send it to them again, or go ahead and just hold up your process. So once you get past that, y'all, we're almost at the end. We're waiting to hear the 3 magic words. Clear to close. Once we hear those words, clear to close, what that means is the lender has gotten everything, or the lending company underwriter, everyone has gotten everything they needed. All the documents has been signed. The home is good. The only thing you're waiting for is to get to closing, to get your keys. So at the time in the beginning, when we did the offer, we also at that same time said when we were going to close. In a perfect world, if we went on the contract on January 1, we're expected to close on February 1 if it falls on a weekday. Now, keep in mind, if something happens to where you cannot close on time, you will know. The lender, your realtor will let you know, hey, there's been a delay. So at least you can adjust. That was a mouthful. I hope that makes sense. So once we get the clear to close, we go to closing. We, as True Guidance, try to be at every closing. If we can't be there, we'll let you know. But when we get to closing, they give you your keys. As a buyer, you sign a stack of paper that thick, sign your life away. Congratulations, you're a homeowner. So that is the home buying process in a perfect world.
Subscribe now.